everybody, welcome back to Data YouTube channel. In this video, you will quickly learn the essential settings to configure before starting with Power BI Desktop. We look at what the Power BI Gateway is and why you need it, and then walk through the setup step by step so everything is clear and easy to follow. Understanding these basics will help you start your Power BI work with confidence. Let's begin. Here's a quick look at today's agenda. We'll start with the Power BI Desktop workflow, then move on to what Power BI Gateway is and how its workflow fits into your reporting process. After that, we walk through the download and installation of the Gateway, explore the Power BI service, take a closer look at the on-premise data gateway, and finally review how connections in the Power BI service work. Now I'm going to walk you through a simple Power BI workflow. Your data can come from many different places. Some stored in cloud platforms like SharePoint or Azure SQL, and some stored on local servers inside your organizations. All of this data first flows into Power BI Desktop, where you clean it, transform it, and build your data model. For any data that lives on premises, the Power BI Gateway becomes essential. It acts as a secure bridge that keeps your local data connected to the Power BI service without moving it to the cloud. For example, imagine your finance team keeps its main database on a local server inside the company. With the gateway installed, Power BI can automatically refresh your reports using that local data, even when the report is published online. Once your report is ready, you publish it to the Power BI service, where it becomes accessible to your colleagues. They can view dashboards in the browser, continue working in Power BI Desktop, or check inside on the go using the Power BI mobile app. This workflow ensures your data, whether cloud-based or on-premises, stays secure, updated, and available across all Power BI platforms. What is Power BI Gateway? The Power BI Gateway acts as a secure, reliable bridge between your on-premises data sources and the Power BI cloud services. And instead of moving your local data to the cloud, the gateway creates a safe connection that allows Power BI to access the information it needs while your data stays exactly where it is. With a gateway in place, you can set up automatic data refreshes, ensuring your reports and dashboards always reflect the latest information. This happens in the background without any manual imports or extra steps from you. At the same time, the gateway helps maintain your organization's security and the compliance standards, making sure sensitive data is handled properly while still supporting a smooth reporting workflow. Power BI Gateway workflow. Sometimes the easiest way to understand a technical system is to imagine it as something familiar. So let's step away from servers and connectors for a moment and walk into a building or organization where every room, door, and shelf represent a part of the Power BI Gateway architecture. In this building, the entire organization is the structure itself. Inside it, different units or departments occupy their own offices, each holding valuable information. Now, to reach these offices, you don't rely on a single entrance, and instead you have gateway clusters, which work like several doors leading into the same office. Each door is an individual gateway installation, and together they ensure that even if one door is blocked, another one can still let Power BI in. This keeps your data refreshes reliable and uninterrupted. Once you step inside the office, you will find shelves. This represents your on-premises data sources. One shelf might hold a SQL Server database, another an ERP system, another shared folder full of Excel files. Each shelf contains a different type of data your organization depends on. To reach these shelves, you need pipelines. In Power BI, these pipelines are your on-premises data connections. A pipeline knows exactly which shelf to go to, what credential to use, and how to safely bring the data from that shelf to Power BI. Without these pipelines, the doors gateway would open into the office, but they wouldn't know how to reach the shelves inside. So the full picture looks like this. Building is the organization. Office is a department or unit. Doors are individual gateway installation. Gateway cluster all doors leading to the same office. Shelves, on-premises data sources, pipelines, on-premises data connections. Power BI service stands outside the building and requests data. One of the doors opens, the pipeline runs to the correct shelf, retrieves the data, and sends it securely to the cloud. The flow is one way. Data travels from your shelves to Power BI service, never the other way around. The analogy brings the whole architecture to life. A secure building, multiple doors for reliability, shelves full of data, and pipelines that deliver exactly what Power BI needs, all working together to keep your reports refreshed and your organization connected. Downloading and installing Power BI Gateway. Sometimes the first step toward connecting your on-premises data to the Power BI service begins with something very simple, downloading the Power BI Gateway. But behind that simple action is an important moment. You are setting up the secure doorway that will allow your local data to reach the cloud safely and reliably. To begin, you head to the official Microsoft Power BI website where the Gateway installer is available. You will see two options: the on-premises data gateway standard mode and the personal mode. For organizational use, scheduled refreshes, and shared datasets, the standard mode is the one you need. With a single click, the download begins and you're already on your way to creating that secure bridge between your internal systems and Power BI. Once the installer opens, the setup process guides you step by step. First, you choose the installation path. Typically, the default location works perfectly. Then the gateway begins installing the necessary components on your machine or server. This part is quick, but it's also where the foundation is laid. The service is registered, the engine is prepared, and the secure communication layer is set up. After installation, the gateway asks you to sign in with your organizational Power BI account. This step is crucial because it links the gateway to your Power BI tenant. Once authorized, you choose whether this gateway will be a new gateway or part of an existing gateway cluster. If you're creating a new one, you give it a name and set a recovery key. This key allows you to restore or move the gateway later if needed. If you're joining an existing cluster, the gateway becomes one of the doors working together to provide high availability. The moment you complete this step, the gateway registers itself in the Power BI service, and your secure connection is officially active. From here, administrators can configure data source connections in the Power BI service, linking the gateway to specific on-premises servers, databases, or files location. This is where the gateway becomes fully functional, ready to fetch data, refresh datasets, and keep your reports up to date without manual intervention. By the end of the installation, you've done more than just run a setup file. You've created the secure entry point that allows your organization's internal data to flow safely into Power BI, supporting dashboards, reports, and automated refreshes across your entire environment. When you open on-premises data gateways in the Power BI service, the first thing you see is a list of all gateways your organization has registered. Right under each gateway, you can also see how many users are assigned to it, which gives you a quick sense of who has access. And when you click the three dots next to any gateway, three simple options appear. Settings. This is where you control how the gateway behaves. For example, the IT team uses settings to adjust things like load balancing or cloud refresh options. We'll go through all the settings options in detail separately. Manage users. This is where you decide who can use or manage the gateway. For example, finance analysts might be added as connection creators, operations specialists as connections creators with refresh, and IT as admins. We also cover manage users in detail in its own section. Remove. This option disconnects the gateway from Power BI. For example, if the company retires an old server IT uses, remove so no reports try to refresh through that gateway anymore. most organizations, different teams use Power BI differently, so they need different levels of access when creating or refreshing data connections. Connection creator. This role is usually given to people like finance analysts or business analysts who understand the data sources. For example, a finance analyst knows the server details for the budgeting database. They create the connection so others can use it, but they don't refresh reports or manage schedules. Connection creator with refresh. This role fits operations, reporting specialists, or power users who maintain their own dashboards. For example, an operation specialist creates a connection to the warehouse database and sets their inventory reports to refresh every morning. They manage their own refresh schedule. Admin, this role belongs to IT administrators or data platform engineers who manage the entire gateway. For example, the IT team updates credentials, controls who can create connections, and fixes refresh failures to keep everything running smoothly. We are breaking down three important Power BI Gateway settings, but instead of just listing them, I'm going to walk you through a real world style story that shows exactly why these settings matter. Let's jump in. Picture this, it's Monday morning in a busy organization. Teams across the company are opening their Power BI dashboards, finance, operations, HR, and suddenly refresh failures everywhere. Reports aren't updating, numbers look wrong, people are confused, and the IT team, they are suddenly getting messages from every direction. When they dig into the issue, they discover something surprising. All refresh requests are being sent to a single gateway, even though they installed multiple gateways for redundancy. That's when they notice a setting they had overlooked. Distribute requests across all active gateways in this cluster. Once the IT team enables this setting, everything changes. Refreshes speed up, failures disappear, no single gateway is overloaded, and the dashboard starts updating smoothly again. It turns out that one small checkbox can make a huge difference. Load balancing is essential when you have more than one gateway. A few days later, the IT team notices something odd. Even cloud-based datasets like SharePoint Online and Azure SQL are being routed through the gateway. That's unnecessary and it's slowing everything down. The reason? Allow users cloud data sources to refresh through this gateway cluster. This setting was turned on, but here's the thing. Cloud data doesn't need a gateway. It refreshes directly through Microsoft's cloud. So the team turns the setting off and instantly the gateway load drops. Cloud datasets refresh faster. On-premises refreshes become more reliable. And I can say it's a simple fix, but a powerful one. Later, another team approaches IT with a problem. They built a custom connector to pull data from a specialized internal system. It works perfectly in Power BI desktop, but fails in the service. The cause? Allow users custom data connectors to refresh through this gateway cluster. This setting was turned off. Once the team enables it, the custom connectors refresh smoothly, their dashboards update automatically, and they finally get real-time data visibility into their internal systems. After these experiences, the IT team creates a simple, reliable approach. Enable this distribute requests across all active gateways because load balancing improves performance and stability. Enable allow custom data connectors only when needed because only certain teams rely on custom connectors. And disable allow cloud data sources to refresh through this gateway because cloud data should stay in the cloud, not buried in the gateway. This combination gives the organization faster refreshes, fewer failures, a more stable gateway cluster, and happier teams across the board. Let's take a quick look at the connections area inside Manage Connections and Gateways, the place where Power BI learns how to reach your on-premises data. Here you will see every data connections your organization has created, things like SQL databases, file shares, or internal systems. Each one shows the source type, the gateway it uses, and whether it's working. For example, your finance team might have a connection to the budgeting SQL database, while operations has one for the warehouse system. Connections are usually created by people who understand the data, like finance analysts, business analysts, or departmental power users. For example, a finance analyst sets up a connection to the budgeting database so the reporting team can build dashboards on top of it. When you click a connection, you can update credentials, check which gateway it uses, and see which datasets depend on it. For example, if a refresh fails, IT can open the connection, update the password, and instantly fix the issue. So that's the connection section, a simple but essential place where your organization keeps all its data access organized and running smoothly. So Power BI Service Connections, I'm going to walk you through the key settings you will see when creating a new connection in the on-premises data gateway and what each one really means. When you open the connection setup page, the first thing you will choose is the gateway cluster name, which is simply the group of gateway machines that will handle your connection. This ensures reliability and load balancing, so even one gateway goes offline, your data refreshes keep running. Next, you will enter a connection name, which is just a clear descriptive label that helps you and your team recognize what this connection is used for. After that, you select the connection type, which tells the gateway what kind of data source you are connecting to, whether it's SQL Server, Oracle, a file system, or another supported system. Once the type is selected, you will fill in the server and, if needed, the database. These fields tell the gateway exactly where your data lives inside your network, and it's important that the gateway machine can actually reach that location. After defining where the data is, you will choose the authentication method, which determines how the gateway logs into the data source. Depending on the system, you might see Windows authentication, basic username and password, or OAuth. Windows authentication uses an Active Directory account and is often preferred for on-premises systems because it integrates with existing permissions and can be managed centrally. Basic authentication uses a direct username and password stored on the data source, typically used for older or legacy systems. OAuth is token-based and is common for modern or cloud-connected services. If your environment supports it, enabling single sign-in SSO on top of this method is even better. SSO allows the gateway to pass the actual user's identity directly to the data source instead of relying on a shared service account. This means users only see the data they are supposed to see. Row-level security works naturally, and you avoid the overhead of managing and rotating shared credentials. In real-world practice, the combination of Windows authentication with SSO is considered the strongest and most seamless option for on-premises data sources, while OAuth with SSO is ideal for cloud-based systems because it avoids storing passwords entirely and uses secure short-lived tokens. Finally, you will set the general privacy level, which controls how this data source can be combined with other sources during refresh. Privacy level help prevent unintended data movement between sources by defining whether the data is public, organizational, or private. Once everything is configured, you can save the connection and it becomes available for datasets, data flows, and other services that rely on the gateway. Thanks for joining me on this ride. I'm Arefa, a business intelligence data analyst in Germany. Power BI isn't just a tool, it's a mindset. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who is ready to level up their data game. Keep exploring, keep building, and keep going.